Welcome to It Takes Two. I'm Blair.
I'm Chris.
And today we'll be talking about The Never Ever Met, Season 2, Episode 8.
I thought the show was canceled, y'all. I was very happy. I didn't see it on last week. I was like, yes, Oprah came back to her network and saved us from this tragedy show. You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, and super thanks. I did not forget. I need your money. If I'm back working on this show, I need y'all to pay me. Now, Blair, I'm going to tell you right now. We go talk about Britney and Ty. Do not make me mad with your commentary about them, okay?
We'll see how it goes.
Okay, thank you. Do not make me mad, okay? I'm ready.
All right, so Clay and Tati left early, and there's only one more week left in the house. So Jay, Cinco, and Charli rank the remaining couples, and Jay and Cinco say that they are the first, the best. Next is Charli and Jared, then Chris and Alexis, then Kiki and Brandon, and then in last place is Ty and Brittany.
Okay.
Cinco jokes that he knows who's leaving next, looking at Ty, but he asked how the date went with him and Brittany, and Ty said that he cooked her the crab legs, loaded baked potato. I mean, he was going into detail about all the food he cooked, and he thinks that they're still hanging in there and they can work this thing out.
What are your thoughts on this first scene right here?
I don't know why the couple likes to rank and compare each other. I guess they're in the house, so all they can do is compare each other to each other.
Yeah.
But overall, I mean, all y'all are a little kind of weird for the fact that y'all were dating people for so long, didn't make the time to actually see them, can only meet them when you come on the show, and a lot of folks is lying and things blowing up in their faces. But, you know, I guess if it's fun for them, you know, it is what it is. And then with Ty and Brittany, how the date went, I'm wondering if Ty like even realizes Brittany of how she is actually like treating him. I get that he's working hard to try to meet her where she's at and to do all the things that he said he would do, which I feel like he should do since he sold her a dream. But he also should be taking inventory of, does she seem like she's interested in me? Does it seem like this is something that can work? Because I don't think that she's really showing that she likes him at all. Yeah. So,
but did y'all hear what my wife said? All of y'all are losers, right?
I didn't say that.
No, that's what I took from it, right? This whole thing, listen here, there's nothing more that I hate than someone who thinks they are in a competition with me when I'm not even trying to compete, right? I'm over here trying to cook this woman a loaded potato, some crab legs. I think he said something about some lobster tails and things of that nature. He tried to do the whole shebang, and whole time y'all over here talk about we the best couple in the house. Well, let's compare the other couples, right? You just had Clay and Tati leave, and they was never good because he been lying from the jump, right? And then you want to compare yourself to Kiki and Brandon, and Kiki's a drunk and been lying this whole time. I can't wait till her lie come out, right? Jared and Charli been literally hiding kids and things of that nature. So it's not like you are comparing yourself to other good couples. You basically just went by default. I don't even know how good y'all are, really, Jay and Cinco, because a little bump in y'all road, Jay, and you started tripping. So, like, this whole idea of wanting to be the best and not wanting to basically show any cracks and stuff like that, this whole performative type of thing, and then even saying who is this going to leave next, I think that's a little bad spirited. I'm not a fan of that. But you know what? Like I said, or like my wife said, y'all weird, right? I added the loser part because, like Blair said, if you go join this show because you dating someone that you haven't seen and the only reason why you saw them is because you was paid to be on the show, yeah, that's kind of weird. That's kind of weird activities, right? Yeah. Now, when it comes to Britney and Ty, I told y'all from the jump, right, that Britney do not like that man, right? It's not because of how he talked to women. It's not because of how his attitude is and maybe his outbursts and things like that. It's not because he did not go inside and get her a drink, right? She just wanted someone to make her feel good and things like that, just to make her laugh, right? And at the end of the day, she never liked him, and she was never going to basically leave with him. Right, all this time we saw her in the past episodes, as Jay saw, she over here touching Cinco, but when it comes to Ty, he got to massage her feet. I'm just like, listen here, I think he knows that like she's not feeling him, and he's trying to do everything in his power to try to basically like, hey, I'm trying to get her to like me. So that's why I brought you to my apartment. I don't think he should have brought her to his apartment because it's not like he had like a penthouse or anything like that. But he brought her to his apartment and he cooked all her favorite food. He said, you know what, I'm going all out. I'm all of it. I'm gonna make the crab legs, the lobster tails, the loaded potatoes. I'm gonna make it all just for her to not even want to kiss him. Disrespectful.
So Brittany talked to Jared and Charli, saying she had a good time with Ty, but he was loud, doing a lot of talking, but he did put in the effort and was listening to her.
Okay.
And Jared was pretty much just trying to level with her. He said, I can tell you like his personality, but you're not attracted to him. Brittany says that she is attracted to him, but it's more friend vibes. It's just that he's always playing and joking all day.
Yeah.
Jared says that she's not giving him his love languages. He's a physical touch, acts of service type of guy. And she says she's not doing the physical touch because that's not her love language, and she's just not quite there yet. So for me with this conversation, I think that it was good that somebody was straight with her. I don't think necessarily it should have been Jared, because Jared is over here not being straight with his person either. But I think that with Brittany, I think that now that he has done everything that you wanted him to do, can you be honest about your feelings and where you actually stand? He's done the things. He's tried to woo you. It wasn't enough because you don't like his personality, essentially, is how I'm reading it. And then the thing about the love languages, you give the person the love language that they want because you love them, because you know that this is what makes them feel loved. You don't do it because it's your love language too. It's something that depending on the love language, you might have to push yourself to do because it's out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And for her to not want to extend herself in any type of way, when it comes to the love languages, she just pretty much touched on physical touch, but you can't do nothing nice for him. Acts of service was the other one. So it is just kind of coming full circle to be like, yeah, you really don't like this guy.
Yeah, you never liked him.
Okay, and I want to clarify, I personally think that she got the ick by being around him and him trying to be the funny man of the entire house and trying to please everybody. I think that while they were on the phone, she enjoyed all the sweet nothings he said to her and all the ways he wanted to pamper her and how he was into her. But when she got around him and saw that, oh, he kind of treats everybody the same and not me special, I think that she got turned off.
And I get the ick every time you say that opinion about Brittany.
Well, that's my opinion.
I'm telling you,
because
it is not right. Right? She did not. He have not changed who he. Trust me, he have not changed who he is, who he was in those like Skype little dates and things like that.
Yeah.
To who he is in person. Right. At the end of the day, my thing is, if we are gonna go by. She liked him at first online, and then when she finally saw him, right? I'm going all the way back online. I don't think she ever liked him online. I think she just fed whatever was empty for her in the sense of like, I got someone who has attention on me and he makes me laugh. Boom. That's it right there. I do think after the age of, what is the great age that I want to go by? After the age of 25, right? If a woman who is interested in you, or like you want a woman to be interested in you, I don't think the first trait that should come out of her mouth is, oh, he's funny, right? I think funny should be included, but if she always lead with funny, I don't think she's going to take you seriously, and I don't think she really likes you. I think she just likes to laugh, right? And I think that's who Brittany was. I think Brittany is just somebody who likes to laugh, right? But when it come down to the whole, and granted, I understand his personality is a lot. Right, and that's not me saying that Ty is a bad guy. His personality is a lot. Even during the massage, he thought it was showtime at the Apollo. I understand, right? But my thing is, it'd be one way if he was not that way on the Skype messages. You could tell he was that way. He haven't changed, right? The only thing that changed is that, oh, you come here and you're cooking for the house? Yeah, I'm cooking for the house because like these kids don't know how to cook.
And
right?
Also, I think he likes cooking. I think he enjoys hosting.
And that's what I'm saying. And and my thing is, how come you couldn't partake in the fact that he's cooking for everybody and y'all being the ones to, and listen, I'm not saying you got to be the one that is part of hosting the house, but him cooking for everyone was not, you did not take no loss in that. So for you to make it seem like I don't like you because you want to be Mr. Funny Guy and here for everybody else and serve everybody else, to me, that sounds like you're looking for an excuse besides actually saying the real thing is you never liked me.
And also, I want to say, and it may not be for Brittany specifically, because if you don't like somebody, you just don't like them. Yeah, and that's fine. You can just push forward and just be like, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
But I do think that sometimes people undervalue how their partner shows up when it comes to other people.
Yeah.
I think it's important to be with somebody who knows how to treat people with like respect and kindness. And the fact that Ty is somebody who will go out of his way for other people. I think all of these are really good character traits for a lifelong partner. But I guess it just has to be whether it's your cup of tea or not. I can imagine somebody who's with Ty and who can, handle the way that he is, like they probably would have great parties and great get-togethers with families and friends, and food be good, drinks be flowing, having a great time. Like I can imagine being with him would be like a great experience in partnership, but you have to like him as a person at the end of the day.
And 100%. And my thing is, when you like somebody and when you like their person, there's room for correction.
Yeah.
So let's say Ty did have attention on everybody else at one point. Going back to that Top Golf episode, right? There is something to where you can correct without making it seem like you're judging. Right. So you basically like, hey, how about we have a date where it's just us? To where like the focus is just on each other.
And he's receptive to stuff too.
Besides you just basically making it seem like you don't. You never. It almost seemed like, oh, I didn't know I was a peasant in the king's court and things like that. So that's why I'm like, I don't think she ever liked him, because she never gave him room to really improve, to make mistakes. He was always on a tightrope in this relationship with Brittany. And whenever you're on a tightrope with somebody, that's basically somebody saying, hey, I don't like you for you, but if you do these things, then maybe I'll talk to you. And the minute you don't cook for me, or the minute you don't get a drink for me and things of that nature, then guess what? You go fall off that tightrope, and I don't want to talk to you no more. It just is what it is.
So Jared tells the guys that he needs to have a hard talk with Charli before his sister comes.
Yeah.
His sister, of course, is coming to visit, and she doesn't know about Charli's kids. She told Jared to tell Charli about the newborn that he was hiding and not to wait until last minute, but he did.
Yeah.
So Jared and Charli have their talk. He tells her at the game at dinner he was the one who wrote F no.
Wow.
He got news of her extended family, the 3 kids. And in his mind, he was over it at that point.
Yeah.
He had a different outlook on their relationship. At first, he told her he said yes, so she thought everything was fine in their relationship. He came in thinking that he would convince her and her one child to move to South Carolina, and he just told himself after learning about the other kids, well, since I'm here, I'll just enjoy myself.
Facts.
The last few days, his answer has gone from F no to maybe to yes to maybe, but he just doesn't see logistically how everything would work with all these children.
Yeah.
She thought that they were in a great place, and she did not expect this. He says that his sister is coming and she doesn't know about your kids. He is going to tell them, and he says that my sister's probably going to say, why would I take care of 4 kids that aren't mine? She says it took so long to meet him because she knows it would be hard for any guy to accept the amount of children she has. On the phone, it was fine, but in reality, she knew that it might not work. And she also, tells us in the confessional that she never asked him for anything, asked him for any support for her kids. She just wanted a relationship with him because she liked and cared for him as a person.
Yeah.
She asked if he wants to be with her, and he says in a perfect world, he would love that. At this point, she's feeling disrespected, embarrassed, and like he wasted her time.
No, Charli, you wasted our time. Listen, I understand Jared is a dog. I understand Jared is dishonest. He's a liar. All these things. But I can't hate Jared. I can't hate Jared in this, right? Here's the thing about it, right? Charli, you really did hide 3 other kids, right? And the newest kid is as old as 1 month, right? To me, I will look at you and say your priorities is completely off, and I don't think I will want you to be the mother of my child. You get what I'm saying? Now, granted, if I bring in 6 kids and things like that all together, we ain't having no more kids, right? So let's start with that. Number 2, here's the thing about Jared, right? I love the fact that while he was telling Charli this, her face dropped. Right? Because she was walking around, talking about Clay's secret, talking about how they're number 2 and how everything's great with them. And I love Jared and Jared loves me. I got a tattoo. All this stuff about Jared and his. I
forgot the tattoo part.
And like, listen here. She just someone who makes bad decisions. It just is what it is. Right? And just for her to be hit with reality, I'm like, Jared, even though you are telling her the truth right now, you don't get no credit, because truth be told, Charli's the type of person where I don't think you even had to lie to her. To crack or do whatever you wanted to do with her, I don't think you had to lie with her. She already had your name tattooed on her and things of that nature. I'm not saying that means that's ownership, but I think Jared did extra credit for an assignment that didn't take all this type of work and things like that. And at the end of the day, I think she knows as she's trying to convince herself later on that maybe it might work. But Jared, he kind of feels the weight off his shoulders, because he's like, I kind of told her the truth, with the F no. Yes, it was me. Some days I say yes, maybe, yes, no, things like that. After the first couple lies, Charli, you shouldn't believe anything Jared says, because he just want to continue to crack, but now he can crack without anything on his conscience, because he's like, I kind of told her. So it is what it is.
Yeah, the part that I hold Jared accountable for is the fact that you knew that you didn't want to take her seriously and you didn't clue her in. And I feel like that is stringing her along, because she thought that the fantasy of you guys actually living together or, finding a way to get your lives, to blend and all this type of stuff was a reality. But you were selling her a dream. And just to crack, like you said, I think that she would have let you crack even if you would have told her the truth
whole time.
And I also want to say that when it comes to her and the kids and things like that, I think that it frustrates me that she wants to keep her children hidden so that somebody would want her. And I feel like as like a parent, not even a mother, like even for him in his case, like hiding your kids, like your kids are a part of you. They come with you. You guys are a package deal. And that's something that a couple of people had to tell Charli, that, if he doesn't accept your kids, then he doesn't accept you.
Facts.
But for some reason, coming into this, she thought that he could accept her and we can just kind of sweep the kids under the rug a little bit.
Not even a little bit.
And I'm just like hoping that Charli comes to the realization you're not going to be able to detach yourself from your children. You guys are going to come together, and whoever you choose to be with needs to accept all of you. And for her to constantly like ask him, like, do you like me? Do you want to be with me? Like, he's trying to tell you no in every way possible, and I'm wondering how many times and how many ways does he have to say no. The fact that he said it in a perfect world, it ain't never gonna be no perfect world. And then she's still sitting confused when she's talking to Brittany and saying that I don't even know, like, if he likes me. And Brittany has to tell her he likes you but doesn't want to be with you. Why sleep with you when he wrote F no on the paper? Clearly, you can't be the man who won't accept you and your children. So.
And listen here, a dead clock is right twice a day, and Brittany ain't lie here. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like, I think Charli just wants to be with Jared nevertheless. So I'm like, hey, this girl is clearly not as bright. You don't have to lie to her. Just say like, hey, let's just kick it. Y'all been together for over 3 years, or like whatever years y'all been online. I think it's been over 2 years and things like that.
I think she said 4.
Yeah, 4 years, and you didn't know she had those other kids that she was hiding. You get what I'm saying? So automatically the relationship is built off of like distrust. The whole reason why she have the newest kid is because she felt like you was doing something, which been proven you probably was, right?
Yeah, because you got a baby and she had a baby.
And she's like, I'm gonna get me some get back. So automatically, she's not the brightest. You get what I'm saying? To where it's like, hey, Charli, at any point that you felt like Jared was doing something dishonoring the relationship, you could have just ejected yourself from the relationship altogether and just focus on your family. But no, you wanted some get back. So I'm like, Jared, you did all this work and all this flipping and all this gymnastics for someone who only needed a cartwheel. You get what I'm saying? All these backflips and stuff. Yeah.
So Alexis and Chris have their coaching session with Dr. Ali.
Yeah.
He thinks she can be controlling and aggressive.
Yeah.
He's seen his dad try to be controlling in situations, and he's had a lot of step parents throughout his life. 9th grade, he had his own apartment because his dad was so busy and he's used to being alone.
Yeah.
She has also offered to do his laundry and to help, but he would say no, he's fine because he's used to doing things on his own. She says that she is aggressive, and some people think it's controlling, but she knows that she is a dominant person. And Chris feels like he doesn't need a mother. He already has a mom.
Okay.
Alexis says that she can adjust, but her aggression or dominance is not a problem to her. It's part of her culture. Dr. Ali asked how the game went where they wrote whether or not they would leave together, yes or no. Chris said no. In that moment, he would have left without her. And Alexis thought that he would have at least said maybe. She wrote down yes because they usually talk through their disagreements and move on. Chris said, well, they both know how they feel now, and now we have like about a week left. This is enough time to see if there's going to be any improvements, to see if we actually could leave here together.
Let me give y'all this list of people for a second, right? To me, Brittany is worse than Jared. To me, Kiki is worse than Jared. Clay was worse than Jared and things of that nature. And Chris is worse than Jared, right? What do you mean Chris is worse than Jared? He haven't slept with her. Chris knows from the bottom of his heart to the top of his head he do not want to be with this woman. Like, facts.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? And I have a problem, me personally, I have a problem with Chris that he's going through these little fake therapy, fake improvement thing, giving her basically a checklist of things to do to change the person that she is for him to never accept her anyway. And now for him to basically be like, well, we got less than 7 days. So, there's hope for improvement. And here's the thing about it. This whole idea of, hey, I'm not looking for a mom. I already got a mom. Then get a younger girl. I don't really get the whole, stop being my mom. Well, you are the one that's dating someone that is older than you, right? And I understand Alexis may have her flaws. We saw them very early on in the season, right? With the whole controlling, not asking for permission and things like that, crossing boundaries. But if we being honest, Alexis really haven't really been that bad. You get what I'm saying?
She chilled out a lot.
She chilled out a lot compared to how we thought and what we saw.
Or at least they just stopped showing it.
Facts, right? Based on what we saw early on in the season. So this whole idea of you giving her this to-do list of basically she need to lose some weight, she need to lose her attitude, she need to do all these things just for you to never choose her anyway. I'm like, Chris, be honest, stop lying to this girl. You don't like this girl, and just move on.
Yeah, that's essentially how I feel too. I feel like with Chris, you just don't like her how she is as a person. And for the fact that she can say that I can be aggressive, I am dominant, I am all these things, and I look at it as a positive, then she's not going to change as a person. She can make tweaks and all these different things to try to accommodate for Chris, but if she sees it as a good thing and it served her well in her life, then she needs to be with somebody who's going to appreciate the person that she is. I think that she might find some difficulty being so headstrong at times, but if she has that little piece of her that's willing to compromise in order to make a relationship work, it could work out for her. But honestly, I feel like she's probably set in her ways. But
I don't even understand what was Chris' whole point. And I'm not trying to break the fourth wall with the show with y'all. I'm trying to respect y'all, the little respect the show deserves, right? But I don't even really understand what was Chris' motive of even dating Alexis or a woman like Alexis in the sense of her being older if he got all this type of mommy and daddy issues. Every time he always talking about, I got 2,000 stepmothers and stepfathers and things of that nature. And I'm like, you obviously have parent issues. So why are you dating an older woman in the first place? I can see from Alexis' POV of why she would want a younger guy, and she ain't getting what she wants out of the deal because she wants someone that basically can D her down. You get what I'm saying?
Flipper, dipper, rubber down.
Exactly. All the above. I definitely gonna say something else. So my thing is like, okay, Alexis, your POV makes sense. You're older, you want a younger guy. Okay, cool. You may have a sexual appetite that maybe some older guy cannot, keep up, right? At the same time, older men may not deal with your attitude either,
right?
So, but at the end of the day, if you only want sex, cool, right? Because you remember when she said to her friend, she said, "I never had to work this hard for sex. Like, this is crazy, right?" But Chris' whole POV makes no sense at all. This whole idea with him with his parents' issues and things like that, but yet he's dating older women. I'm just like, yeah, Chris, it just comes off as if you're confused. Stop playing with us. The season's almost over anyway, so I don't care.
Yeah. So Jared's sister Jewel arrives, and Charli's best friend Sabrina arrives.
Okay.
Jared tells Jewel about the kids, Charli's 4 kids, and Charli tells Sabrina that he has a newborn as well, and she also dropped her 3 kids on him.
Wow.
He checked out when she told him about the kids, but he still enjoyed himself, and he says some people might say I led her on. So they both kind of catch them up to where they currently are at in their relationship. And Jules says, if you're not ready to take on her kids, that's the question. Like, is that something that you'd be willing to do?
Yeah.
So he's still trying to figure out how to raise his own kids. So he doesn't think he could raise her kids too. He doesn't have an answer for her right now. And Charli is still feeling disrespected.
Here's the thing about it, Jared. Be a man and pack your bag and go home. Because you already know your answer.
Yeah.
The only reason why you didn't leave today is because, your sister was coming. But I think after today, I think he had no reason to stay. Jared already made his decision. He's not moving to where she is, and he's not raising her children. So it's one thing if they just had okay, I had a secret baby and you had a secret baby, and that's only two. But no, so that's why I'm like, Jared, with this whole idea of I'm just trying to figure it out. No, you figured it out. And I guess you're trying to be respectful by not being honest. But truth be told, start packing your bags and just leave, because you already know you don't want to be part of that family.
Right. Alexis and Chris are going on a date. She planned it. Alexis felt caught off guard during the therapy session. She knows she's dominant and aggressive, but she's not so aggressive that she can't be feminine. She sees how she missed some things with Chris, so she is going to try to show her improvement on this date.
Okay.
Charli, Jared, Sabrina, and Jewel, they all get together and talk. And Charli talks about how, she would hope that they would work through the whole kid stuff and be able to leave together. And Jewel asks, why hide your children?
Facts.
Charli says his perception of her being a single woman with these kids is why she hid it. She doesn't need a man. She does well for herself, but she knows that she should have told him. They agreed not to hide things from each other after they both came clean about their hidden children. And he lied about saying yes in the game. If he would have been honest with her, she would have been fine. Let's just talk about it and move forward. Jewel tells her, well, dropping 3 kids and expecting things to go one way is unrealistic.
Yeah.
Charli doesn't think that she expected things to go a certain way. She just wanted him to be honest so that way they could work out their situation. He was the one who said everything was good, and she has to know if things are not good.
Yeah.
Jewel doesn't like liars, but it is her brother, so she's going to be in his corner, but she says that he shouldn't have lied.
Facts.
Jared says that he shouldn't have lied and he should have expressed himself about where he was mentally. So Charli still thinks that they can move forward, and Jared feels like we've been living in La La Land. We just had a real conversation today, and the next hard conversation we have to have is what it looks like for us to move forward. Jewel says, to Charli that kids should be your pride and joy. You do not hide them. He either accepts you with them or not, and they get ready to leave, and Jewel whispers to her, you're beautiful inside and out, no matter what he says, just to show her that essentially, I know my brother be tripping sometimes, and whatever he's got going on with you has no bearing on who you are as a woman. So
I didn't take it as that.
Okay.
I ain't taking it as that at all.
That's how I saw it.
I think her whispering that to Charli had nothing to do with Jared. Here's the thing about it, right? Why hide your kids was the question of the episode, right? And this whole idea of basically not facing the reality of your decisions, no accountability, right? I don't know how many baby fathers she have. I don't know, right? But I would like to go more than one. And if I'm a betting man, I say more than 2, right? So there's already so many strings attached to these kids, to this relationship, that is just unrealistic. I'm not saying that you should be ashamed of your decisions, but there got to be accountability in your decisions, in the sense of, hey, I just wish they just be honest enough to say, hey, can we just keep this as a physical relationship? Because truth be told, I feel like Charli don't have a problem with that.
I agree. I feel like they could probably rock that out.
So this whole idea of we got to figure out how it looks and things like that, I feel like y'all just trying to sell us bullish for real. Just keep it a physical relationship. Whole time when she was talking to Brittany and things like that, I think Charli was talking to Brittany, and I guess she asked how was the sex. She said it was amazing, right? So I'm like, y'all already wasn't living in the same state. Y'all already wasn't seeing each other. Just rock out for the rest of the episode or the rest of the season, and you don't got to figure out this whole kids and baby father thing. She got her own Charlotte's Web that she needs to untangle in her life, to the point where she got her own personal issues, to where she is hiding her pride and joy and things like that. So she got her own issues where she gotta go upstairs and pump her breasts. So I wouldn't even this whole talk that my sister's over here having is just a little too serious for me. Because to me, I would have been like, hey, Jewel, hey, relax. How about we just keep this as friends with benefits and things like that? My name is already on you. You know what I'm saying? I like how you look. You are my black queen. Do you want to keep it that way? Mm-hmm. Yes or no? Because it's not going any further than this. It doesn't take all this deep conversations and things like that.
Yeah, I will say that I appreciated the conversation and the transparency during this conversation. It seemed like everyone was being honest on all sides about where they actually stood and where their heads were at. I wish Charli would come to the realization that he's not going to take you seriously.
No.
And it is kind of like a little bit like cringy, the fact that people have to tell you not to hide your children, you know? And I will say on his side, it is cringy for him to feel like he needs to hide his child as well. I think the only thing that can kind of be looked at as, what do they call it? I forget the name of it, but pretty much like unfair or whatever, is the fact that he might not be the primary parent for his kid. So it may not be as pressing for him to come out and talk about his child, which is still unfair because he's still a father at the end of the day. But if she is the primary parent for her 4 children, that's not something that you can hide for any period of time. So I think that for the both of them moving forward, hopefully if they want to have serious relationships, honestly, the way it looks, I don't know if Jared wants to have a serious relationship. I think he's just enjoying himself. And with Charli, if she wants something serious, like, girl, you cannot sit up here and lie about your real life. Like,
whole time.
You have to, you know, be the one to be honest about where you stand. So
what's the word? Hypocritical.
Yes, thank you, you're awesome.
But yeah, you couldn't figure out the word buzzwords. Okay, I'm not holding it against you, you know.
So we move on to Alexis and Chris's date.
Okay,
they go boxing. She's listening and taking direction, and Chris likes seeing that. It's also something he's interested in, which is, you know, the physicality of it, the working out. She also wanted to show him that her being strong isn't a bad thing, and he rated this date 10 out of 10, and they share a kiss.
Okay, nice. I actually thought it was a good date.
I thought it was a really fun date too, but I will say that I don't think he picked up on what she was trying to put down when it came to her strength isn't a bad thing. No. I think he just enjoyed working out. But she was like, I was holding the bag, I was taking those punches, and, you know, being strong isn't a bad thing, and I wanted to show him that. I don't think he picked up on that.
No,
I think he just thought you planned a fun date. Unfortunately.
And guess what? And sometimes that's all you need to do.
Yeah. So Jay and Cinco looks like they cooked dinner for everybody.
Yeah.
And they play a game at dinner.
Let's start right here for a second.
Sure.
Kiki, I understand. Oh, yeah. I'm going to talk about you every episode, even if the camera's not on you. I understand that during your time, Kiki, that you was drunk and you didn't feel well when it was you and Brandon's time to cook, right? Hey, you feel better now, though.
Yeah. Chip in. Ask people if they need help.
Cook something. Help something. You get what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't show it, but I'm only going by what I see. Sometimes I just gotta throw my little jab into Kiki because I think everybody think we got rid of all the lions in the house. And I'm like, no,
she still has to come out.
She's still hiding in the house, okay? She is hiding in the house, guys. And I'm going to flash a light on her, basically saying, hey, you had a whole man while you was dating this guy. But, you know, that's all. I digress.
So Brittany gets the question in the game. If you have not had sex, do you think you would be good sexual partners with your partner? At first, she says she doesn't know. She's kind of quiet. She's kind of looking around. Then she says yes. And she tells us in the confessional, honestly, her answer is no, but she has been focused on trying to spare Ty's feelings. Then they asked Ty the question. He felt like Brittany took forever to respond, so he said no because he doesn't think they have chemistry. And he has been trying to build the chemistry with her.
Yeah.
Now, Brittany's upset because she didn't take her feelings into consideration. She walks into the kitchen. He asks her if she's okay. She tells him she said yes because she didn't want to embarrass him. And Ty says, well, you took forever to say yes. It wasn't like a normal yes.
Yeah.
He's trying to finish talking. She's trying to cut in. He's asking, can he talk? Oh, I can't because I'm a little boy. She's putting her finger in his face, telling him to stop doing that. She also doesn't like the fact that they're having this conversation in front of people in the kitchen. Honestly, the people came in the kitchen because y'all was having the conversation.
Pretty much.
Like, y'all was by yourselves for a minute there. But that's where we end.
Blair, you go ahead first because I want to be the judge of what you say about Brittany.
Yeah, in this situation, Brittany I would feel like she should have just been honest about her answer, because the way that she answered it was dragging it, and it seemed like she was lying. So I don't fault Ty for coming out straight and saying like probably not, and I agree with his reasoning because we don't have chemistry. It's just not clicking right now, and for her to get upset about that because I want you to cover for me or care about my feelings and all this type of stuff, and it's just like people aren't just going to lie and do things just to honor your ego or your feelings. Like, you might do that for him, but in reality, like, you can't anticipate or expect somebody to do that for you, because why would we do that? Yeah. like what are we lying for? Who we faking for? Like, we don't know these people and we know where we stand. So what's the point of lying? So I feel like with Brittany, I think sometimes emotions can be irrational, and so I think that this is one of those moments for her, and I feel like when it comes to how they argue, I think that Ty can be a little bit sassy in the way that he argues.
I was with you until just now. Keep going.
I do. I feel like he can be a little bit sassy in the way that he argues, because they could have kept it at a conversation, but him being like, you trying to cut in? Like, can I talk? Oh, I'm a little boy, so I can't talk.
Because she was cutting him off.
But I'm just saying, he's escalating the situation. Okay. It is escalating the situation. Somebody has to be, the one to
Why him? Why? Why? Go ahead.
You're gonna have your full 5 minutes, okay?
15. Okay, I'm taking 15. Okay.
So for me, I feel like if y'all know you're about to have a heated conversation, and I understand emotions can kind of get away from you when it comes to that. There's no point in trying and adding extra spice to the conversation. Yeah. You could, like he said, can I finish talking? You're cutting in. Can I finish talking? But all the extra about, I can't talk, I'm a little boy, like you're adding too much, like, heat to the fire, essentially. I'm just like, you're doing a little bit too much now. And I felt like she was doing too much by putting her finger in his face and all that type of stuff. Like, y'all need to separate. Yeah. Clearly, we're not going to have a productive conversation.
No, we're not. So. I was with you by 98% of the conversation to the end, because why does he got to be the diffuser? He wasn't the one that lit the fuse in the first place, right? She's the one cutting him off. And here's the thing. Here's how irrational she is, right? She's over here, and just to go off of just what he said at the end of this episode, he answered your question, Blair, at the end of the episode, because you asked, dude, does he notice that they don't have chemistry and stuff like that? He knows they don't have chemistry because he said it right here, right? But if we go back to other episodes and things like that, she's keying literally with Kiki, talking about some no, I'm not going to boom boom with him. No, I don't like him like that. No this, no that, and all this. He needs to do this. He needs to do that. All the above, while at the same time trying to put her hands on Cinco. And now Jay over here, keep your hands on like, yo, man. Like, why are you touching on everybody else except for Ty? Word, right? Now we're at a situation to where you feel exactly what he feels. To where you're over here trying to play the good guy, where really you're not the good guy, because you're stringing this guy along or giving him a list of to-do things, a list of to-do, a to-do list. A to-do list. Thank you.
I got you.
Thank you, right? A to-do list, knowing that you don't like this guy, right? And whole time, when you say, yes, I think we have chemistry, and he's like, for one, you took so long, and like, why are we lying? Like it was awkward in my apartment. Yeah. Like the whole situation was set for us to have chemistry inside my apartment. I cooked all your favorite food. No one was around. It was only us two. We are adults, and like when it came to kissing, you felt like you was a hostage. Like, so this whole idea that she's basically like, I was trying to spare your feelings as if you're doing me a favor, where whole time you're lying the whole time. Yeah. That makes no sense. Right? So now they are in the kitchen, right? And I understand that y'all may see it as sassy, as Ty. Why don't you try to diffuse it? What do you mean? This whole time when he came back to apologize to her episodes ago and things like that, he had to be the diffuser the whole time when she was in the wrong. So now he got to be the diffuser every time. I am 100% in agreement that in an argument, someone has to be the diffuser, because usually someone always got a match in their hand, right? But as the diffuser, you get tired of always having to diffuse situations that you did not light up in the first place. She was the one that lit the whole conversation by having that long pause and trying to make it seem like no one in the house knows that, hey, we ain't vibing. And now that we are in the kitchen and things of that nature, you cut me off when I'm trying to talk, and now you're trying to little boy me. Right? How are you trying to little boy me when I literally been doing everything to basically please you? And I understand that he's basically like, listen, okay, I guess I can't talk because I'm a kid now. I understand that. That's just his old man lingo because, you know, even though he's 30-something, he's really 62, right?
Okay.
But really, how she feels about that man is, you saw it when she put her finger in that man's face and calling him out his name. That's really how she feels about him. It has nothing to do with an ick. It has nothing to do with, oh, I did like you at one point and now I don't. It has everything to do with, hey, behave, boy, because this is not how you're supposed to be treating me, even though I don't like you. Even though the answer that you gave, I feel the exact same way. But at the end of the day, it has nothing to do with you're trying to embarrass me. It's basically like heel, boy, heel. And at the end of the day, as a grown man, you ain't going to tell me how to talk when I'm talking. And my whole thing is, I really don't like Brittany.
I can tell.
No, I really don't, right? And the whole thing about it is just be honest. Because Brittany comes off as if she's like a princess. Like, you know what? I'm a princess, and guess what? Your job as a man is to serve. And I'm like, that's not courting. That's not the courting process. That's slavery.
Okay.
Like,
slavery.
Like, no, it is, though, because it's like he's not your slave. So that's why when she started going off on him about the drink, I was like, I could kind of see how some people are trying to spin it as like, hey, how come he cannot go and stop what he's doing to get her a drink? That's his woman. Well, at the same time, I could spin it back the other way and be like, you see your man on the grill and you ain't doing nothing but in the pool, which gives off this essence of life of luxury. Butler, hand me a drink. You get what I'm saying? While he's serving and on the grill cooking food that you're going to eat as well, why can't you help and get yourself a drink? Get him a drink because you don't like him. You never liked him.
And that's all we got.
I think I did good.
Yeah.
You always did good.
Thank you.
So the Brittany commentary needs some work.
I always do good.
The Brittany commentary needs some work. It needs some commentary. I'm going to help you behind the scenes.
Okay.
Subscribe, like, share, comment, and super thanks. We see y'all next week.
Bye.